Maybe even a jobless, reclusive bum like me can get a do-over at life and get serious about living. These were the closing words at the end of Moshoku Tensei's first episode, and it reminded me of a feeling. Years ago, when I first started watching anime, I was watching Fairy Tail, and I had a connection with Fairy Tail. I was a 14, 15-year-old guy who just sat in his room, lonely most of the time. I went to school, I had one friend that I'd spend some time with, but ultimately I was pretty sheltered as a kid. And then Fairy Tail, that fun group of people, became my friends. And as sad as it is, it's what got me into anime, and what later led me to different friends, people in the real world that I've come to appreciate. Well, these closing words at the end of Moshoku Tensei gave me a similar feeling, something that connected to me, and I had to ask myself why. There comes a time in a lot of people's lives where it feels like all you need is a hard reset, and it's hard to believe that maybe you can get that hard reset. Whether you've lost your job, lost your sense of identity, or maybe even lost a loved one, sometimes all you need to hear is that there's a second chance, and that you can keep going. In the case of the main character of Moshoku Tensei, he was in his mid-30s and he had never done anything with his life. He was a bum, and he regretted everything. And maybe that's you, but there's nothing to say that you can't start over, and that's what this show is about. Now maybe it's taking place in a fictional world of swords and sorcery, but that doesn't pull away from the message that's being given. The fact that you can restart, you can be someone else, and really, that's the heart of the isekai genre. The idea of going to another world and living another life. But what this show makes one ponder is, do I need to go to another world to live another life? I avidly believe that people can change. Whether it's yourself, whether it's someone else, regardless of what it is. When humans need to change, we can do it. It's an amazing ability of ours. We can be whatever we need to be in order to succeed if you have the willingness to make yourself into it. All these ideas and words went through my head at the end of that first episode. I only planned on watching one. Of course, at this point, there were 7 out, so after that first episode, I did what any sane person would do and watched the next 6 episodes of Moshoku Tensei. And fortunately, they stuck with the theme. They stuck with the theme of him not only changing, but it not being easy, and the fact that there are certain things he still struggles with. And that's okay, and that's the way it's going to be. But this is what makes anime special, whether it's Moshoku Tensei teaching you that you can change, or Fairy Tail showing you that you can have friends. There comes a time where an anime can feel perfect for you. It can feel like just what you needed to hear, just what you needed to see, just what you needed to know. And even if you already did know, sometimes all you need is a reminder that these possibilities exist. For me, that's what anime does. For many, that's what anime does. You can get the same thing from books, or movies, or TV shows, but there's something magical about anime. Something that makes it different. Maybe it's the big eyes on anime girls, eyes being the window into the soul, or whatever else deep-sounding bullshit you could come up with. But in the end, a deep connection to anime and the medium itself is difficult to explain. Anime is a very saturated medium, and this season has been wonderful for those of us who love anime. But it's been a handful. So if you're missing out on Moshoku Tensei, then don't. Stop. Because, in my opinion, this is the most important catch of the season. I'm also watching Wonder Egg Priority, new season of Promised Neverland, I'm watching Skate to Infinity, I'm watching a few different things, and I'm enjoying a lot of them immensely. But this is the first time in a very long time that I've felt an impression made on me. Not just enjoying what I'm watching, but feeling something about who I am, and connecting with what I'm seeing and hearing. It's something it would be a shame to look it over. So watch it while it's airing, get into it, become a part of the fanbase, see why it's so hype. Like Giguk said, it's paying off to be an isekai fan. But this isn't about it being a good isekai. This is about it being a good anime. This doesn't fit into the tier that you could give isekais, where you have an S-tier isekai that's really only a B-tier anime or an A-tier anime at best. No, this is just a top-tier anime. regardless of it being an isekai. That's irrelevant. That is what makes this good. It doesn't depend on being an isekai, it's the inspiration, and it feels like the father of isekai. Because there's no twist. It's just what everything else has been trying to redo with little twists. It's the inspiration. And I'm sure those are all the things you've heard before. To be honest, if it would have came out years ago around the same time that Sword Art Online came out, it would have been far ahead of its time, and it might not have done as well. I think this is the perfect time for it to come out. With things like Ishizuku reviewers and redo of a healer. That train wreck of an anime. It's not anime, don't watch it. If you're looking for an anime, don't watch it at least. If you're looking for hentai, you can find stuff that's better. Just frankly, you can find stuff that's a lot better. Whether it's anime or hentai, just don't watch redo of a healer. It's not worth your time. Okay, it's not even that I have an issue with it. That it's not that it's like offensive. It's just that it's garbage. Like, that's what it is. Okay, we're not talking about redo of a healer. We're talking about Moshoku Tensai, because that's worth talking about. We've got lollies, we've got milfs, we've got maids, and we've got Paul. Wait, Paul? Screw you, Paul! So why did I bring up Ishizuku reviewers and redo of a healer? Well, because as far as your standard anime goes, this is very lewd. Thank you, Paul. But it doesn't come close to those levels. So the nice thing is that we have those things now. And they're there. And they have pushed the line of what quote-unquote anime can be. So with something like Moshoku Tensai coming out, it actually doesn't feel all that wild when it has his parents making love in the next room over, because it's not showing it. Which I'm kind of thankful for, to be honest. We don't need that. I like the lewd stuff. Lewding my anime, I'm fine with it. But I don't need it to go as far as some other things have gone recently. I don't want it to retract from the story at all. And I feel like with Moshoku Tensai, it doesn't. It goes just far enough without really going past the humor of it. Just keeping it as a humorous aspect of the show, which is really where I think it makes the best point in a story. But hey, I don't mind a little bit of looting in my anime. If you watch anime, there was literally no reason for you to not get into this. I would recommend it on so many different levels. The only time I wouldn't would be if you were exclusively into slice of life and didn't like anything outside of the realm of possibility and reality, then maybe this isn't necessarily for you, but in that case, like, why do you watch anime? I mean, slice of life is nice, but is that all you watch? I'm going to recommend this to everyone. You should be watching Moshoku Tensai. Thank you for watching. I'd like to take a brief minute to thank my patrons, Maltar, Justin, and Brenda. You guys have been great, and I really appreciate the support. But I'd also like to thank my subscribers. Thank you for hitting that red button. I hope that I can make you guys happy. If there's anything you guys want to see in my videos, I'll read it, and we can figure out how to make my content something you can enjoy more. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time on the way down the abyss.